All right, welcome to the first episode of the Newfoundland Lens, where we try to get together and talk about things when it comes to photography in Newfoundland. My name is Michael Winsor, and I have Cory Babstock here as well with me.
Hello.
So for the next foreseeable future, we're planning on doing a podcast so we can talk about everything photography in Newfoundland when it comes to, icebergs, whales, puffins, and all that good stuff. And it should be a bit of fun there, Cory.
Absolutely, yeah. No shortage of things to talk about, that's for sure.
Yeah, so you're going to have to bear with us because we're brand new. We're pretty much going to learn this as we go when it comes to podcasting.
It's exactly how I learned photography, too. You got to make about 10,000 mistakes before you anywhere any good at all.
Yeah, absolutely. But, like I said, we're going to get together and we'll take a topic, probably on icebergs, and we'll go over some stories of what we see and people, how to take pictures of them and all that good stuff. And, of course, Atlantic puffins, where so many people come here from away for taking pictures of puffins and other seabirds, and that as well.
Michael, just jump in here.
Go ahead.
The most amazing thing I found since I've been doing this regarding puffins is the number of Newfoundlanders who haven't been out to see the puffins.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
We get people travel from all over the world, people who just finished up doing a safari shooting lions and tiger and everything else. They come here and they get out of their mind excited about the puffins. You talk to somebody from down the road, you say, boy, I've never been out to see them.
Yeah. I've never been to Elliston, wherever they go.
Where are they to?
Yeah. The other thing, too, I noticed is that when you're out there and you talk about people that travel all over the world and they go to Iceland and, a lot of other places see puffins.
Right.
But see, like when it comes to Newfoundland, like you got the best chance of getting like those up close portraits of them, and they're all pretty excited.
Absolutely. Best kept secret in the world is how close the puffins are here. Everybody, floored.
Yeah, and that's what I find about Newfoundland is that's kind of the best kept secret. It's just that.
Secret's going to be out now with this podcast.
Oh, yes, guaranteed. And so during our podcast, too, we'll be definitely talking about other things. Like, I know a lot of people come here. If you're not really photographers, we can still help you out when it comes to even things to pack, places to stay, our transportation, what we have here. So we're pretty much talking about everything in Newfoundland for tourists. And we're a little bit more into photography because that's what we do. So kind of with that, as myself and Cory, we work with Newfoundland Photo Tours. And it's a company that, basically we bring people from all around the world and we bring them, show them the good spots to take the pictures. And like I said, don't have to be photographers. We bring people around that just want to see a puffin or an iceberg. So, and
yeah,
Cory, I'm sure you had lots of that.
Well, I tell people all the time, like when I explain, what the tour is about, and people talk about their skill levels or things of that nature. And I said, I've had people show up with $20,000 camera bodies and $19,000 lenses and been published in the Canadian Geographic and National Geographic and all that. And then at the same time, I have people show up with a cell phone or an iPad and they just want to go and see it. They just want to go and see all the good spots, and they want somebody who knows the area to bring them to all the spots that might not be in the pamphlets or the books or online, right? So, yes, all levels. And that's the interesting thing. You never know what you're going to get.
Yeah. Absolutely. Like when I travel as well, like when I went to New York once, I got up, a photography guide with them because they know the place to go and what's safe and what's not safe. So similar to what we do,
Yeah, no, I had a guest this past summer who just finished a photo tour of Israel before the conflict started there, of course. And same thing, he said what he always does is go to try to find a local guide to bring him around because, they know like we know. All the dirt roads you got to go down to get the best views, and it always pays off.
Some other things that we'll go over too is like icebergs. Like I usually find a lot of people has questions about when they should come here for iceberg season. Like when's the best time? And puffins, same thing, and whales. So we'll get into more of that, and we'll talk about our stories, and we'll have hopefully some guests on as well from Newfoundland or Forest, the tourism crew, or even some past guests if they want to kind of come in on and chat with us as well.
Oh yeah, we've had some characters. I'd love to get on the show. To be honest. Yeah, some great guys and girls.
Yeah, there's lots of good stories when we're traveling around the island and seeing, like I said, even the northern gannets down in Cape St. Mary's.
Oh yeah, oh yeah. That's an experience for anybody for the first time. You go out there and you hear them first, then you smell them, then you see them. Right?
Yeah, for sure.
It's an amazing thing. I had a guy last season. He went out there and he literally started crying tears.
Oh,
Because
yeah.
he had seen pictures and he thought he knew what to expect, but when he got out there and just saw the sheer number of them and how close they are, it was one of those core memory moments for him, right? So that's very nice.
But I see a lot of tourists and visitors that come here, and a lot of them come, they're birders, and they come for the Atlantic puffins.
Right.
So then we kind of said, well, you should probably go down and see the northern gannets. And I
Right.
find when you actually get down there, they actually like the gannets, and they think they're more amazing than the actual puffins.
Yeah, and I will say I've been working with the Newfoundland Photo Tours. Michael, this is going into my third season this year. I would not have considered myself a birder 2 years ago. I knew birds, but you as you say, a lot of our guests that come, they are birders, and boy, that stuff's infectious.
It is.
You get there to see the excitement of them. The gentleman I had that came from San Francisco, and of all the birds, he wanted to see a razorbill. That was his. He didn't not that he didn't care about the gannets. He was excited about the gannets and the puffins, but the razorbill, that was his bird, right?
Yeah, and I found too. I did a photography shoot for some birders that came over from the States there a few years ago, and I find that the birders really love nature. Like they know butterflies and everything, which is pretty cool to see.
Right.
Yeah,
And wildflowers. That's my Achilles heel of wildflowers. Even though I downloaded an app this past year that point and click and identifies for you.
Yeah, I got that one as well.
Capture the beauty of wildlife, icebergs, and incredible landscapes through your own camera lens. With expert instruction, workshops, guided tours, and more. Newfoundland Photo Tours. Book your experience today.
Yeah, so I just want to introduce Cory to kind of give a little introduction of who he is. And so go ahead there, Cory.
So do we have 3 hours? Because it's going to take that long to put it all in there for sure. So my name's Cory Babstock. I live not in St. John's, which is the capital of Newfoundland. If you're flying in, that's likely where you're going to land. I live just 2 hours west of there in a small town called Clarenville, pretty close to where all the action is on the Bonavista Vista Peninsula. So it's kind of favorite. It's my backyard. I have a Bachelor of Fine Arts from Nova Scotia College of Art and Design. Like a lot of people with a fine arts degree, I ended up working in retail management for almost 20 years. And just 5 years ago, I stepped away from that and got back into photography. And since then, people tell me I'm okay at it. I've had stuff shipped around the world. I've published a book, calendars every year, all that kind of fun stuff, various exhibitions. But 2 years ago, I got 2 full seasons in with Newfoundland Photo Tours. Probably done about, I would say, Michael, about 25, 30 tours now or more.
Oh, for sure.
And I've had everything from one client for a couple of hours in an afternoon to one couple for 10 days. So it's been a mixed bag. Yep, glad to be on board.
You're really friendly with 10 days together for sure.
Well, you either get really, when I picked them up at the airport, or I picked them up in St. John's, I said, so we're going to be together for 10 days. So we're either going to get to know each other really well and be great friends, or we're going to hate each other by day 5 and we're not going to say a word for the last 5 days at the tour. Worked out okay though. Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
A lot of fun.
Yeah. Yeah, so thanks, Cory. And for myself, I started this company, Newfoundland Photo Tours, probably 10 years ago, I guess. And I've been at it for a while now. And I really appreciate Cory. He's a really great photographer there, and he's really good with the clients, which makes life a lot easier for me. And so the company, like probably 10 years, and myself and Cory, the good thing about with the tours that we do, we've been all over Newfoundland, photographing every cove and tickle and hill, mountain, So we know all the good places. So that's what kind of leads into it as well. So, but I've been photographing myself a long time, over 20 years, I guess, and professionally probably, I don't know, maybe 15. And yeah, so I really enjoy it as much as you would. Sometimes I feel like when we're out doing tours or exploring the island, it almost feels like vacation more than anything because it's just amazing.
Well, I can't even begin to say the number of times I've been out at, say, the puffin colony, and with making sure the crew are getting their photos, but getting my own photos in as well. And every now and then going like, oh my God, Michael's paying me to do this. And you're right, because it just feels like you're with a group of friends exploring, and, everybody's happy. They're getting the photos that they want. And it's, as we were saying, Newfoundland's best kind.
Yeah, that's what I find. Like I said, we invite these people from all over the world, and then time they leave, they're not just clients anymore, they're friends, and we stay in contact with these people.
Absolutely. Too, right? Yeah. I know I've got people who I just spoke to today that went on tour with me last summer, right? So you're forming relationships, and I think that's a big part of it. That's not, it's going to be a bit of I know it's a plug for the company, and this is what we need to do. But we're personal, like, we get to know you. We're small, no big groups, so you don't get lost in the shuffle, and everybody gets paid attention to, and that makes a big difference.
And same thing when it comes to us as well, is that we bring people around, and what they said is, as more of a smaller group, but we kind of do what you want to do. We're not like
right.
the big tour buses where you're just driving around, looking at the window, you get off the bus, and you kind of
15
look for
minutes
an hour,
here,
get back on, and
Yeah.
So, and Newfoundland is not a place where you want to be doing that you need time to sit down and relax and smell the salts of the air and all that good stuff.
It's a great point. That's what I always tell my people too, when we're anywhere, if we're out on the puffin colony or even on the Zodiac for a tour, is every now and then put the camera down, just absorb it all, because it's, there's nowhere else on earth like this. So you just got to kind of take it all in.
Oh, absolutely. I know, like, I take a lot of pictures, and I'll photography competitions and win a scatter award or whatever here and there. But I think I'm kind of privileged because I live in such a place as Newfoundland, where
scattered awards. Don't be too modest now, there, buddy.
But like, we live in a place where, you know what I mean, you just turn around and it's just amazing.
I always say, like, people say, boy, you good photos there. And I say, well, I'm blessed to be in a spot where I haven't got to drive too far to get a good photo. All right. So it's pretty much our first podcast. Not bad for two old fellas. Just wanted to have an opportunity to introduce ourselves and let you know we were going to be doing this thing. We are on YouTube. We are going to be on Spotify, Apple, basically everywhere where your favorite podcast would be. If you use an app and we're not on there, please let us know. We'll make sure that we are on there. And yeah, we look pretty forward to talking about some of our favorite subjects and what you guys would like to hear us talk about as well. So, Michael, what do you got there?
Yeah, so like I said, I'm really excited to get this thing started, and bear with us. Like I said, it's the first podcast, so going forward, it'll be improving like we did with our photography, of course.
Absolutely.
And any questions or comments for visitors, if you got any questions, definitely let us know some topics, and we'll get on there and we'll chat about it, and we'll let you know what's real. We won't make anything up, and we'll just, tell you what we really know about the island, because, we're local. We know what's happening here and where to go and all that good stuff. So,
yeah. So just in regards to that, Michael, what they can do is just, if we're on the YouTube, they can leave a comment down below with their question. And if not, I guess they can reach out via Newfoundland Photo Tour's webpage if they have to, which is a contact.
Yeah, for sure. And again, yeah, like I said, any comments or anything you'd like to leave or questions, definitely get to us. And thanks for listening to our first one. And we're looking forward to talking about our next one, which is going to be 100% on icebergs. And should be fun.
Should be.
Right. Thanks a lot.
Thanks, guys.